In every human heart, there lies a silent, often unacknowledged yearning, a profound desire for connection, for meaning, for a faith that can withstand the storms of life and illuminate the darkest of paths. Yet, in our bustling, modern world, filled with endless distractions and the cacophony of conflicting voices, this deep, abiding faith often feels like an elusive dream. Many search, many hope, but find themselves adrift in a sea of doubt, their spiritual compass spinning without a true north. They witness the steadfast faith of others, the serene confidence that seems to guide them, and wonder, why not me? What secret do they possess that I have yet to uncover? This universal ache for a more profound spiritual connection is not a sign of weakness, nor is it a cause for despair. Rather, it is the first stirring of a mighty power within you. It is the soul's quiet recognition that it was made for more than fleeting shadows and superficial beliefs. This very dissatisfaction, this sacred unrest, is the spark of hope, the initial signal that you are ready to embark upon a transformative journey. It is the X factor of your spirit, nudging you towards a profound realization that a deeper, more resilient faith is not only possible, it is your birthright. Today, we embark on a quest to unveil a secret, a time-tested pathway to cultivating such a faith, not through blind adherence, but through conscious understanding and deliberate application of timeless principles. This is not about adopting a new religion, but about deepening your personal relationship with the divine, whatever that may mean to you. It is about transforming faith from a passive wish into an active, dynamic force that reshapes your reality from the inside out. Are you ready to discover how you can achieve a deeper, more empowering faith in just 30 days? The journey begins not with a leap into the unknown, but with the courageous first step of deciding that you are worthy and capable of such a profound connection. Before one can build a towering edifice of faith, one must first inspect the ground upon which it is to be built and clear away the debris that would threaten its stability. Why is it that for so many, faith remains a flickering candle rather than a blazing sun? The answers, my friends, are seldom found in external circumstances, but lie deep within the recesses of our own minds, in the inner void where doubt and fear take root. The first and most pervasive saboteur of faith is doubt. It is a subtle poison seeping into the mind through 1,000 tiny fissures, a skeptical comment here, a disappointing experience there, the relentless questioning unsupported by an earnest search for answers. Doubt whispers that you are not good enough, that your prayers go unheard, that the spiritual path is too difficult, or perhaps even an illusion. It thrives in an undisciplined mind. Then comes fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of what true faith might demand, fear of ridicule, fear of failure, and even fear of success and its attendant responsibilities. Fear paralyzes initiative, it clouds judgment, it keeps the soul chained to the familiar, however unsatisfying, rather than venturing forth into the glorious unknown where true spiritual power resides. Add to this the pervasive influence of materialism. In a world that constantly glorifies the acquisition of things, it is tragically easy to lose sight of the treasures of the spirit. The pursuit of wealth and worldly status, if not balanced by an equal or greater pursuit of inner riches, can become a powerful distraction, leading the soul away from its true source of sustenance and fulfillment. And finally, there is the overwhelming noise of the world. The incessant demands for our attention, the endless stream of information, opinions, and entertainments that bombard our senses daily. This external clamor makes it incredibly difficult to hear the still small voice within, the voice of intuition, the voice of conscience, the very voice of the divine. True faith is cultivated in moments of quiet contemplation, in stillness, in a conscious turning away from the superficial din. These are the primary reasons faith falters, the shadows that obscure your spiritual light. But recognizing them is the first step towards banishing them forever. Having identified the inner adversaries of doubt, fear, materialism, and worldly noise, we now arrive at the first foundational pillar upon which a truly unshakable faith must be built. This is a principle so profound, yet so often overlooked, that its mastery alone can revolutionize your spiritual life. This first pillar is the absolute, unequivocal mastery of your own mental kingdom. You must understand this. Your mind is a garden. What you plant in it, whether by conscious intent or by careless neglect, will inevitably grow. If you allow thoughts of doubt, fear, and limitation to take root, they will produce a harvest of a weak and wavering faith. But if you consciously choose to plant seeds of belief, courage, and unwavering conviction, your faith will blossom with astonishing power. Therefore, the very first active step in our 30-day journey to deeper faith, encompassing, let us say, days 1 through 3 of your dedicated effort, is to establish undisputed dominion over your thoughts. This is achieved through the deliberate and persistent application of autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is the principle through which every voluntary, self-administered stimulus reaches the human mind. It is the communication line between your conscious thinking mind and the vast, powerful realm of your subconscious mind, where the true roots of your beliefs are anchored. For these first 3 days, and indeed as a lifelong practice, you will dedicate specific moments, upon waking and before sleeping are ideal, to consciously impress upon your subconscious the reality of the faith you are determined to build. Craft a clear, concise, and powerful affirmation. It must be positive, in the present tense, and charged with emotion. For instance, I am a being of profound faith and spiritual power. Divine intelligence guides me, protects me, and provides for my every need. My faith is growing stronger, deeper, and more unshakable every single day. Repeat this affirmation aloud, if possible, with all the feeling and conviction you can muster. Visualize yourself already possessing this deep faith. Feel the peace, the strength, the certainty it brings. This is not about deceiving yourself, it is about re-educating your subconscious mind, replacing old, limiting patterns with new, empowering ones. This conscious command of your mental landscape is the bedrock upon which all other principles of faith will be built. It is the clearing of the soil, the tilling of the ground, preparing for the magnificent growth that is to come. This journey of mastering your mind is the first step to unlocking profound spiritual power. If you are ready to take control and cultivate an unshakable faith, then subscribe to this channel and activate the X factor within you. Let us walk this path of empowerment together. Having laid the first pillar, the mastery of your mental kingdom through purposeful autosuggestion, we now advance into the heart of our 30-day secret to a deeper, more dynamic faith. For days 1 through 7 of this transformative journey, we will focus intently on a principle that is the very starting point of all significant achievement, be it material or spiritual. Just as a ship without a rudder will be tossed aimlessly by the waves, so too will a soul without a clear spiritual objective find its faith drifting and uncertain. You cannot hope to attain a deeper faith if you do not first clearly define what that faith means to you, what you expect from it, and what you intend for it to become in your life. Vague hopes and nebulous desires will yield equally vague and unsatisfying results. Therefore, your task for this first week is one of profound introspection and resolute decision. Take time each day to meditate upon these questions. What does a deeper faith truly look like in my daily existence? Is it an unshakable peace amidst chaos? Is it clear guidance in my decisions? Is it a profound sense of connection to the divine and to all humanity? Is it the courage to overcome adversity? Be specific. Write down your spiritual objectives. Create a clear, concise statement of your major spiritual purpose for these 30 days and, indeed, for the life you wish to lead henceforth. This is not merely an intellectual exercise. When you define your spiritual purpose with absolute clarity and burn it into your consciousness through daily contemplation and affirmation, you create a powerful spiritual magnet. You begin to attract the ideas, the opportunities, the people, and the inner resources necessary for its attainment. Your mind, now focused like a laser beam, becomes intensely receptive to the very spiritual vibrations it seeks. You are telling the universe and your own deeper self precisely what you are committed to achieving in your spiritual life. This definiteness of purpose will serve as your unwavering compass, guiding every subsequent step on this 30-day path. Without it, the most potent secrets of faith would remain inert. With it, you unleash a directed force that the universe itself will conspire to support. With your definite spiritual purpose now clearly etched in your mind, we proceed into the second week of our 30-day metamorphosis, days 8 through 14. This phase is dedicated to the principle of applied faith, fueled by autosuggestion in action. It is one thing to define your destination. It is quite another to actively engage the vehicle that will take you there. Faith, in its most potent form, is not passive belief. It is an active, dynamic force that must be applied. Applied faith means acting in a way that is wholly consistent with the spiritual objectives you have set. If you seek greater peace, you must consciously practice peaceful thoughts and actions even in the face of provocation. If you desire clearer guidance, you must create moments of stillness to listen and then act upon the intuitive nudges you receive, however small they may seem. This is where your practice of autosuggestion, initiated in the first pillar, evolves. It is no longer just about affirming your desired state of faith. It is about affirming your actions that are in harmony with that faith. Each morning, as you affirm your definite spiritual purpose, also affirm the specific actions you will take that day to live in accordance with that purpose. For example, today I will act with courage and unwavering faith in the face of any challenge. I will seek and recognize divine guidance in my interactions. I will extend compassion, for that is an expression of my deepening spiritual connection. Then, throughout the day, consciously look for opportunities to apply these affirmations. This is faith in overalls, going to work. Furthermore, you will use autosuggestion to build an unshakable expectancy of attainment. Visualize yourself not just seeking deeper faith, but living it, experiencing its benefits, embodying its qualities. Feel the profound peace, the unshakable certainty, the boundless joy that this deeper faith brings. By consistently feeding your subconscious mind with these images and feelings of faith already realized, you accelerate its manifestation in your objective reality. This is the art of acting as if, a principle that aligns your inner vibrations with the reality you wish to create. This second week is about bridging the gap between desire and reality through conscious, faith-filled action and unwavering mental conviction. Taking these deliberate actions is how you begin to see tangible changes. If you are finding these principles valuable and wish to continue this journey of spiritual empowerment, I invite you to subscribe and activate the X Factor within you. Your commitment fuels our shared growth. As we enter the third week of our 30-day pilgrimage to a more profound faith, days 15 through 21, we encounter a principle of immense power, one that can amplify your individual efforts exponentially, the principle of spiritual alliance, or what I have often termed the mastermind. No great achievement, whether material or spiritual, is typically accomplished through solitary effort alone. While your personal connection with the divine is paramount, the journey of faith can be immeasurably enriched and fortified when undertaken in harmonious association with other like-minded souls. A spiritual mastermind alliance is a group of two or more individuals who come together in a spirit of perfect harmony for the definite purpose of aiding one another in their spiritual growth and the attainment of deeper faith. The power of such an alliance is almost beyond comprehension. When minds blend in a spirit of unity and shared spiritual purpose, a third mind, an intangible yet potent spiritual force, is created. This collective consciousness can provide access to inspiration, wisdom, courage, and intuitive insights far beyond the capacity of any single member. In such an alliance, doubts are dispelled by shared conviction, fears are calmed by mutual support, and faith is fanned from a flicker into a roaring flame by the combined spiritual energy of the group. Your task for this week is to thoughtfully consider the formation of or participation in such a spiritual alliance. Seek out individuals who are also earnestly striving for a deeper connection with the divine, those whose spiritual aspirations resonate with your own. This is not about agreement on every point of dogma, but about a shared desire for growth and a commitment to mutual support in a spirit of unconditional love and harmony. Engage in regular discussions, share your challenges and victories in faith, pray or meditate together if appropriate for your group, and consistently hold one another in the highest spiritual light. Even if you begin with just one other person who shares your spiritual quest, the principle remains the same. This deliberate association for spiritual advancement creates a vortex of power that will draw to you and your allies greater spiritual understanding and a more profound experiential faith. Do not underestimate the transformative influence of a spiritual mastermind. It is one of the most potent, yet often underutilized, secrets to profound spiritual attainment. As we venture into the fourth and final week of our intensive 30-day journey, specifically days 22 through 28, we confront a reality that every seeker of truth and every aspirant to profound achievement must eventually face: the tests of faith. It is here that we must cultivate the indispensable twin qualities of resilience and persistence. It is a law of life that anything of great value is seldom attained without commensurate effort and the overcoming of obstacles. The path to a deeper, unshakable faith is no exception. There will be moments when your enthusiasm wanes, when doubts resurface with renewed vigor, when the cares of the world attempt to pull you back into old patterns of thought and behavior. You may experience what some mystics have termed the dark night of the soul, periods of spiritual dryness where the feeling of divine presence seems to fade. These are not signs that your efforts are in vain. On the contrary, they are crucial tests designed to temper your spirit and solidify your resolve. Resilience in faith is the ability to bend without breaking, to encounter setbacks and periods of aridity, yet return to your spiritual practices with renewed determination. Persistence is the unwavering commitment to your definite spiritual purpose, the refusal to surrender, no matter how challenging the path may appear. It is the quiet, tenacious heroism of the soul that simply will not give up. During this week, your practice involves consciously fortifying these qualities. When doubt arises, meet it head-on with the affirmations and the definite purpose you have cultivated. When your spiritual energy feels low, revisit the reasons you embarked on this journey. Lean into your spiritual mastermind alliance for support and encouragement. Understand that faith is like a muscle. It grows stronger not in times of ease, but when it is exercised against resistance. Every challenge overcome, every doubt conquered, every moment you choose to persist in your spiritual disciplines despite a lack of immediate tangible results, you are forging an indomitable faith. This unwavering persistence, this spiritual grit, is the hallmark of those who achieve true spiritual mastery. It is the X factor that separates fleeting interest from life-altering transformation. We now arrive at the culmination of our 30-day intensive immersion, days 29 and 30. These final days are dedicated to perhaps the most joyful and elevating of all spiritual principles, the principle of gratitude and receptivity. Having diligently cleared your mind, defined your purpose, applied your faith, allied with others, and cultivated resilience, you now prepare to open yourself fully to the divine flow. And the key that unlocks this flow is profound, heartfelt gratitude. Gratitude is far more than a polite platitude. It is a powerful spiritual vibration. It is the acknowledgement of the good already present in your life and the good that is on its way. When you cultivate an attitude of gratitude, you shift your entire consciousness from a state of lack or longing to a state of abundance and appreciation. This vibrational shift aligns you with the very source of all good, making you a magnet for further blessings and deeper spiritual experiences. For these 2 days, and as a continuing practice, your focus will be on actively seeking out and acknowledging every blessing, every insight, every small miracle, every indication of spiritual growth you have experienced, not just in the past 30 days, but throughout your life. Keep a gratitude journal. Express your thanks to the divine, to others, and to yourself for the progress made. Feel this gratitude deeply in your heart. Let it permeate your being. Moreover, practice an open and joyful receptivity. Having done your part, having planted the seeds and tended the soil, you must now trust the process of spiritual growth and be willing to receive the harvest. This means letting go of anxiety about results, releasing the need to control every outcome, and trusting that divine intelligence is working in, through, and for you in ways that may be beyond your current comprehension. Faith, in its highest expression, is this serene trust, this joyful expectancy, this grateful receiving. As you master gratitude and receptivity, you will find your connection to the divine becoming not a struggle, but a constant, effortless, and joyous communion. This powerful combination of gratitude and receptivity is what truly opens the floodgates, allowing the deeper faith you have cultivated to permeate every aspect of your life. And if you are feeling this call to open yourself to a more abundant and faith-filled existence, I encourage you to make a commitment to this path of continuous growth. Subscribe now and activate the X factor within you. Let us continue to explore these profound truths together. The completion of these 30 days of intensive focus does not mark an end, but rather a profound beginning. What you have cultivated, the mastery over your thoughts, the clarity of your spiritual purpose, the application of active faith, the support of spiritual alliances, the resilience in the face of tests, and the joy of gratitude, these are not temporary fixes. They are the foundational principles for living a life permanently guided by unshakable faith. The journey beyond 30 days is about integrating these principles so deeply that they become your natural way of being. It is about embodying a new identity, the identity of a man or woman of profound faith, a conscious co-creator with the divine. This means continuing your daily practices, not as a chore, but as a joyful expression of your commitment to spiritual growth. Continue to guard your thoughts, to affirm your spiritual purpose, to act in alignment with your highest values, to nurture your spiritual alliances, to meet challenges with courage, and to live in a constant state of gratitude. You will find that as your faith deepens, so too will your intuition. Your ability to discern truth, to make wise decisions, and to navigate life's complexities with grace and confidence will expand significantly. The X factor of your activated faith will begin to manifest in a serene peace that underlies all your activities, a quiet strength that others will sense, and an inner guidance system that becomes increasingly reliable. This is not a path to a life free of challenges, for challenges are the catalysts of growth. Rather, it is the path to a life where you meet every challenge with an unshakable inner knowing that you are never alone, that you are infinitely resourced, and that all things are working together for your highest good and the highest good of all. This is the freedom, the power, and the profound peace that a life guided by deep faith offers. It is a continuous unfolding, a perpetual becoming, ever drawing you closer to the divine source of all that is. We stand now at the threshold of a new understanding, a new way of living, a new expression of who you truly are. The 30-day journey, built upon timeless principles, has equipped you not merely with techniques, but with a transformed consciousness, a faith that is not just believed, but lived. This is the X factor fully activated within your being. But the true measure of this transformed faith extends beyond your personal peace and empowerment, as vital as those are. The most profound aspect of a deeply cultivated faith is its ripple effect. As your own spiritual light shines more brightly, it naturally illuminates the path for others. Your calmness in adversity, your unwavering integrity, your compassion, your wisdom born of inner connection, these qualities become a silent testament, an inspiring influence on everyone you encounter. You begin to transbordar, to overflow with a spiritual richness that naturally blesses your family, your community, and your sphere of influence. This is your true legacy. It is not measured in material accumulations, but in the positive impact you have on the lives of others, an impact born from the depths of your own spiritual realization. When you live from a place of unshakable faith, you become a conduit for divine love and wisdom to flow into the world. You contribute to the raising of collective consciousness, one interaction, one act of kindness, one expression of faith at a time. Therefore, the ultimate call to action is not merely to attain this faith for yourself, but to become it, to live it so fully that your very presence inspires others to seek their own deeper connection. The world is in desperate need of individuals anchored in such profound spiritual certainty. The secret has been shared, the principles have been laid bare, the path is clear, the power to walk it resides within you. The choice, as always, is yours. Will you accept this call to live a life of extraordinary faith and become a beacon of light in a world that so dearly needs it? I invite you, one final time, to make that sacred commitment. Subscribe to this channel, activate the X factor that now burns brightly within you, and let us continue to explore the limitless frontiers of human potential and spiritual achievement together. For the greatest adventure of all is the journey inward, to the source of all power, all wisdom, and all faith. Go forth and live transformed.